Alright, I thought I'd make a quick video. My mods. It's definitely not done. Things will change, but anyways, you can see temperatures are actually holding pretty well. I think it's a little hotter over here because I just added a split. Actually, I'll show you real quick. As you can see, the door's been welded shut. I mean, they're a little beefy because everything was a little offset when I started welding to the side of the cooking chamber. The door does look like shit, I'll admit that, but when I actually make a insulated firebox, I'm actually going to change out the entire door. But here's what this looks like. It's not bad. Okay. Due to the gaps, it actually breathes pretty decent, but unfortunately I can't control it. So, I need to change that out. Alright. Got some meat mitch, barbecue sauce, and then I found this stuff, honey mustard barbecue sauce. It's actually pretty good. Basically what we're doing is water pan, a little rusted. I do need to clean that out. These guys have been dipped in barbecue sauce. They're about ready to come off. Then we got a chicken, barely fits, right? And then we got the smoke collector. My problem is I'll show you the shot in a second. Oh, you can see like I left one piece of metal in there from the reverse flow, just as a deflector. And then basically what it does is it comes down to this collector. I welded all that shut. Unfortunately, there's a gap right over here. It looks like what had happened was they welded on just that little like 4-inch piece of tubing so you can connect it out. It actually wasn't fully welded, and that's the first I've seen on these guys. So I've got to come in and weld it shut. But anyways, yeah, got a smoke collector. It just comes up. And I reused this handle, right? That was connected down here. I just chopped it, welded up there, and then painted it. But I mean, yeah, so far, like, this thing handles like a beast. I figured I'd modify first before I actually build my own smoker. But yeah, come around here, let's take a look. See, I welded the firebox shut, welded it to cooking chamber. Ooh, that wind's picking up. I welded the legs on, if you guys can see that, but yeah, it is what it is. And then yeah, the collector, the welds are a little beefy. I'm not a fan, but the welding machine I'm using only has like a 20% runtime, so I just sent it. But yeah, so far it seems to be holding up real well. Alright, last comment. We did just oil this up. Notice I don't have the bottom basket on here yet. But when I did, it was usually full of splits. Yeah, I think with the lid welded shut, we're running through less firewood. I do plan on installing a insulated firebox, but I'm actually kind of impressed because just doing chicken, it took us about 3, almost 4 hours. I mean, this thing was not even filled up. And you can see like most of it's been eaten up, but I'm running through less firewood. So yeah, so far I would recommend welding that up. Alright, so I figured throwing a slide deck. Here's the food. The outcome, not too bad. But here we are. Here's the work that it took to get to where I'm at. Basically what happened was it took basically a whole day to hit this whole thing with a wire wheel. Legs, firebox. That's what I plan on welding up front. So as you can see, I'm literally just flipping this thing around, hitting it with wire wheel. Here I'm starting to weld the legs onto the cooking chamber. So far, not so bad. It was kind of a transition to getting used to this machine. And as you can see here, I'm just welding the firebox shut. Again, 20% runtime, bit of a challenge, but we made it work. But yeah, I think it took about a whole day to get the wire wheel done, and then another day for the firebox just to weld it shut. And as you can see with the slag removed, it actually did turn out pretty good due to the spacing. If you look at the firebox, you can see how the lid's not exactly where I wanted it. And I figured I'd paint it all up just to make sure I can block rust. You can see here where I hit it with a cutting wheel, even the space was kind of wide after welding. So I knew I had to, long term, that's going to have to be changed. Anyways, yeah, you can see not so bad, but I think the next step was going to be the smoke collector. And here you can see I'm taking pictures. With my phone, I have a way of drawing on it. It's one of those Galaxy Notes, so that's basically what I did, was take pictures and draw out what I wanted. Here you can see just the extension, handle, and then yeah, here's kind of a different perception. Anyways, yeah, so cut off that 4-inch pipe, cut open area for the smoke collector. I did cut the smokestack because I knew trying to haul around that big old pipe was not going to happen. Even with these like magnets, it was kind of a pain in the ass. So anyways, yeah, started just welding it up. You can see where it's going to require more beefy welds due to the spacing. But yeah, so far everything tacked up, looked pretty sweet. It was kind of cool to see just from like a phone drawing things come into place. Yeah, 3G weld against the pipe, that was kind of cool. And then yeah, you have to grind the pipe like at a 45. Basically here you can see is I have those 3 purple pins at the top. That's how I was going to line up the pipe, and it worked out. I did have to smack a few times with a hammer trying to line it after I got everything tacked up though. But yeah, no complaints. Anyways, yeah, you can see everything's starting to like tie in together. Let's see. Okay, cool. So here's where everything is actually welded up. No paint, nothing. No complaints. A little beefy on the welds, but again, it worked out fine. And at this point, I'm just like throwing a fire in there, trying to see if we have any like leaks, and everything turned out decent. Turns out there was a leak, as I pointed out earlier, at that upper circle, but it worked out. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ping. Thanks.